Let's have a look at the starting grid in full with Finn Wiebelhaus on pole position, Dennis Fetzer alongside an all-HRT Mustang front row for race 10 of the season. Fabrizio Crestani and Julian Hanses, he's looking strong in the BMW in quali this morning. They line up on row 2. On row 3, another Mustang. Max Rice has Tim Zimmermann alongside in another of the BMWs. On row 4, the leading Pro-Am driver, Alex Facker in the Porsche with Juliana Holzem in the Scherer Motorsport BMW for company. Moritz Viskersen had a lot of bad luck yesterday as Leo Pickler for company. They are still challengers in the championship. Yesterday's winner, Denis Bulatov, has Felix Hersiger alongside. Great to have him here on the grid. Emil Yerdrum and Simon Conoprim line up on row 7. Row 8, Kari Schreiner is alongside Rudolf Benno. He's in one of the older BMWs, the older Evos. And then Adam Konopka. We're getting ready for race 10 of a 12-race season. ADAC GT Masters is go, and Finn Wiebelhaus off that pole position. Dennis Fetzer falling back into the clutches of Fabrizio Crestani. The rest of the cars scattering around turn 1. Everybody makes it now into turn 2, a corner. We call it a corner, taken absolutely flat out, and then up the hill they would come. It's a steep climb into the right-hander of turn 3. Back, and they'll want a really good points haul out of this race. So we look again at that start. Everybody crossing the line nice and clean into turn 1, 3 abreast. That's very brave, isn't it? You can get away with track limits normally on the first lap, but after that, our race director does tend to clamp down. This was the view from Max Rice. He did have a little look on the inside of Dennis Fetzer.
Decent start, and he got himself briefly out to 4th place on the run to turn 3, but he went backwards in the second half of that lap. So from 5th on the grid, the number 3 maroon-coloured Mustang back down in 9th place now. What triggered it really was a really good start from Juliano Holzem. Now remember yesterday, the second half of the race, Juliano Holzem and Max Rice went side by side for the best part of a lap. It was a brilliant battle, but Holzem got the move done into this corner, turn 4. And then he was kind of on the back foot. He was offline then for that run downhill into this section. They're now going into, on lap 2, the run through turn 5, the left-hander then at turn 6, the left at turn 7.
So when Ernst Kirschmeier takes over, may well be in a very strong position if he can remain there at the moment, as Holzem ducks to the inside of Dennis Fetzer, gives him the squeeze. That was a good textbook move. Alex Fack in 6th place, trying to follow through and relieve Fetzer of that 5th place. They head down towards turn 4, so Fetzer now behind Holzem and trying to come back at him. So on the outside into turn 4, Holzem just takes that line, the faster line through turn 4. Good exit as well. Fack watching on at the moment, but is lining up to have a go at the Mustang as well.
Yeah, the Fat Porsche is another one that's going to have a shorter pit stop as a Pro-Am pairing. That currently running in 6th place with Alex Fack behind the wheel, who's the pro of the Pro-Am pairing in that category. But it hasn't quite worked out, has it, with various changes to the balance of performance for the car this weekend?
Yeah, with a circuit that's 677 metres above sea level, the air is thinner. The turbocharged cars normally have an advantage over the naturally aspirated cars with the turbo forcing the air into the system. But certainly the BMWs with the BOP, the balance of performance, which is issued to make sure the cars are level, maybe kicking in a little bit and pegging them back. Yesterday's winner, Denis Bulatov, in 10th place, and Leo Pickler there as well. Pickler very much wanting to get points, and down in 9th place at the moment is not what they need for their championship hunt. So bringing different skills to the table. That is the rest of the championship standing. So a lot of drivers here realistically not in the championship hunt and going for some very, very fetching gold Red Bull trophies.
What we call a snake of cars, isn't it? And Bulatov again trying the outside line. He can stay on the outside through turn 4, eventually get the inside line 2 turns later into the left-hander at 6 this corner, but he's not there yet. The inside line is now covered anyway, so has to try and go around the outside.
So you'll see your graphic on the left-hand side. The green numbers indicate the Pro-Am pairings. The blue are the silver-silver pairings. And when the pit window opens, which is in about 10 minutes' time, there is the minimum pit stop time. I've mentioned it already.
Max Rice trying to come around the outside of the BMW of Tim Zimmermann. Zimmermann, though, knows he's got the line. Come alongside me, but you can't get past me. However, there is a right-hander coming up eventually, so maybe the Mustang will be able to get through there. Bits of bodywork flat, but he does get through. So another really well executed move that by Rice. He lost his places on the first lap. He went from 5th down to 9th. He's got 2 of them back now, back up into 7th place. We'll see what his speed is like now as well, because he's, for the first time in the whole race really, got a bit of a clear track in front of him. They bounce and thud over the curbs on the way out through that final turn. I was keeping an eye there on the other Mustang, side by side, looking for a move down the inside of the BMW of Holtzen was Denis Fetzer, and that means he's slow on the throttle, and he's going to kill his momentum up the hill now. So he's second favourite to get to turn 3 ahead of that Porsche. Alex Fack is going to pounce surely. The Mustang, though, has got plenty of grunt in a straight line, but Fack has got to go for it because there's a big gap to go through now. That Porsche, side by side, Alex Fack gets through. They both run a bit wide, but the Porsche is through and up into 5th place.
Alex Fack doesn't need much of an invitation to get through, and that's exactly what he got. So just shows how when you make a move and it doesn't stick, you leave yourself susceptible to the car behind. Into turn 4, Fetzer has a little look on the outside, but now Max Rice is closing up behind him in the other of the Mustangs. There's Leo Pickler and Tim Zimmerman. They're fighting for 8th place at the moment. So Pickler, once again, has a little look to the inside, then to the outside. Bulatov has dropped back a little from that battle, so that maybe releases Pickler a little bit to put the pressure onto Tim Zimmerman without as big a risk of the Audi coming sailing through. It's the battle for 8th place at the moment. Now, investigation, car 6. Well, there's proof of that one.
Involved, yeah.
Felix Hersiger, a very rapid pilot. Great to have him here. Left a bit of debris on the inside of that corner as well. I'm wondering whether there's going to need to be some kind of full course yellow to move that, which opens in 1 minute and 3/4 and will remain open for that 10 minutes. And this is where the strategy will start to play out. And I reckon at HRT, they'll probably want to keep Finn Wiebelhaus out for a fairly long time. He's very quick. He's got an open track in front of him. 5 seconds. Right, Zimmerman is in, handing over to Leighton Fury. That's a strategic move, that is. Also, Leo Pickler, Simon Birch will be poised and ready. Moritz Viskursen getting ready to hand over to Yanis Fitcher. Here comes Jonathan Chicotto. Going to help Denis Fetzer out of the car. No major hurry at the moment. They've got 85 seconds from pit entry to pit exit. No tyre changes. This is not DTM. The mechanics, they're allowed to take tyre pressures, maybe clean the windscreen if needed, but not a lot else. So the outgoing driver helps the incoming driver to get buckled up. There's Juliana Holzem helping Sandro Holzem, his twin brother, to get settled into the seat, gets him buckled up.
No rush for them at all. Wiebelhaus and Cristani still within 0.8 of a second of each other on the track. Juliano Hansis in 3rd place. He's 10.3 seconds behind them now. Then Alex Fack at the moment, that's a 4th. Now Alex is going to stay in for as long as possible. As the quicker of the 2 drivers normally.
That's a big bit of gaffer tape,
yeah,
isn't it?
Got sheets of gaffer tape going on to the left rear corner of Max Rice's car. So he gets out. He had that most of that coming in the first couple of laps of the race. But good comeback, getting 2 of those places back. And we saw in the first in yesterday's race, Nicholas Callas was driving well as well. So he's strapped in.
He's been something of a sensation, hasn't he, Nicholas Callas? And of course, frustrating, he had an injury on his e-scooter while doing the track walk, in inverted commas, at the Nürburgring. It meant that David Schumacher was drafted into the seat at the very last minute. And Nicholas Callas has spent the last 8 weeks thinking of nothing but recovery. He came back at the Salzburgring last weekend.
Could he be on course for another? On the podium yesterday, very good job done by Finn Wiebelhaus. Make sure he hits that pit lane speed limit. When you cross that white line, you've got to be underneath the maximum pit lane speed limit. The lollipop gets whacked. Salman Vega runs to position, and Finn Wiebelhaus's job is done. But excellent stuff from the 18-year-old, the more experienced Salman Vega now to get in.
Quite interesting strategy bringing him early, actually, because there's still over 4 minutes remaining on the clock. He had the clear track in front of him, but Salman Vega will be itching to get behind the wheel of that, the former champion. At the moment, Crestani is up towards turn 4, leading the way. Julian Hanses still out, but they've still got to come in. Alex Fack.
To within 0.6 of a second of the minimum pit stop time of 70 seconds for Fack Autotech, so it wasn't bad at all in that respect. And in comes from the lead of the race, Fabrizio Crestani. So that's going to be a short pit stop as well. This car ought to get out into the lead of the race, but what will the lead be, and how long will his co-driver be able to hang on to that for? Also coming in, Eduardo Cosseteng in the FK Performance BMW. There you can see the black and white machine. And also in Simon Conner-Prim in the Pal Motorsport Lamborghini, because we're into the last minute or so of the pit window.
Meanwhile, Simon Vega has indeed mugged Alexander Schwarzer. So
that was the fact that he was having that bit of wheel banging with the Mercedes of Janis Fitcher. Oh no, up on the jacks and out of the race, and slamming the car in frustration there. The number 33 machine out of the running. Finn Zulef has a one lap in the car.
So the number 1 car, Ernst Kirschmeier, leading the way. It is Salmon Vega in second place to the inside. Ernst Kirschmeier not really putting up too much of a fight. The Mustang goes sailing through. We have a new leader of the race. Back to the lead for car number 1. The HRT Mustang now leading the way with 19 1/4 minutes remaining. But they are in such a strong position in that second place. Still a podium, very much a possibility. Look at Janis Fitcher. So 12th place was the position he was in. He's already muscled his way up to 11th place, not quite, because Eduardo Cosseteng's come back at him.
Yeah, got the job done on Eduardo Cosseteng. Here he goes, trying to find a way past the Liquimoli Lamborghini. Probably has to be patient here, or maybe not. No, he goes for it straight away over the crest into the right-hander at turn 9. And Fitcher has gained another place, so he's gone from 12th to 10th on this lap. Cosseteng gets through as well. As a problem maybe for the Lamborghini, or maybe he's just lost all of his rhythm. Outbraking Kirschmeier in that Ferrari, gaining about a car's length in the Porsche and going for it here. And there's more side-by-side action once again up at turn 3. Switch of position there, and the Mustang has now been split by the Mustangs have been split by the Porsche. Behind them, I reckon Simon Birch has got 5th place from Jonathan Cicotto, who's all over him right in the background of the shot through turn 3. And looking at the track map that we get from the timing screen into turn 4, the positions change. So a couple of places gained for Birch.
I was going to wish he'd made that move stick on Ernst Kirschmeier. You've seen him drop back now a little because suddenly he's occupied with Holzum, who's coming through. In fact, not so occupied, left a big gap on the inside. Again, choosing not to put up too much of a fight. Maybe the inevitable that big BMW was going to get past, and it's not the fight that he's in with today.
Which is about to come. He's all over that Ferrari. Kirschmeier sees the flashing headlights of the BMW. The BMW almost alongside. Kirschmeier doesn't really want to fight this one too hard, does he? Because he's not really battling the BMW, which gives him a nudge through the corner. Out wide over the curbs goes Kirschmeier. Remember, 69 years of age, driving brilliantly here. But the inside line now belongs to the BMW. When they get to the top of the hill, Holzum should be able to get through and into second place. And look, Alex Schwarzer is getting oh so close now in the Porsche. So Holzum goes second, and Schwarzer pounces, but they can't quite get through over the curbs. Contact with the side of the Ferrari lightly. He tried the move. He would like to have been a bit closer to Holzum's BMW to do a double overtake, but it didn't quite happen. And Kirschmeier, just by the skin of his teeth, hangs on to the Pro-Am class lead.
But look who is in the background. This is really important in his championship hunt to get in front of these cars. He moves to the inside of Alexander Schwarzer. The 2 red and white Porsches alongside each other. Razzoon, More Than Racing, the local team, FAC Autotech, the Swiss team pulling ahead just slightly. But now Simon Birch inches in front along the really fast turn 2. Up the hill they'll come towards turn 3 in a moment. And Birch has that inside line, job done, nice and tidy. Now he'll set about Ernst Kirschmeier next up the road, but we're still scrapping over the minor places. Meanwhile, Salmon Vega is into turn 10 for the very last time. He sees the checkered flag in front of him. It's maximum points for Salmon Vega and Finn Wiebelhaus. A pole position followed by a win, 28 points going their way. One hand on the trophy in the ADAC GT Masters. Next across the line will come Sandro Holzum. Simon Birch had been going like the clappers, catching up with Sandro Holzum in second place, but not quite enough time. He comes to the line, tries to make a run for it, but Holzum has that second place. Birch in third. Jonathan Cicotto comes across the line next, then Nicholas Callas, then Nico Hantke, but it's going to be a win in the Pro-Ams for Ernst Kirschmeier. and Fabrizio Crestani, despite all the pressure.
But you say another 25 points coming the way of Salvador Vega and Finn Wiebelhaus, who win from the Wholesums, who stayed just 80,000 second ahead of Simon Birch, Sandro Holsum.
And talking to Mike David Ortman yesterday, he still says it's his all-time favourite trophy that he's ever won, is the Red Bull that you get here at the Red Bull Ring. The champagne celebration starts amongst the drivers in the overall race.